The 2016 Primetime Sports Tournament of Champions started pool play today in College Station, Texas, and we begin the action in Pool A. In the 8th grade division, they kicked off the day matching the Roulette Fuel against Midlothian Heritage. In this nail-biter, Roulette Fuel didn't have enough in the tank to pass Midlothian Heritage, and the final score was 24-21. After emptying the tank in their first game, Roulette Fuel dropped their second game to the Cypress Wildcats 2021 squad. The Wildcats get their first win of the tournament in stunning fashion, beating the Roulette Fuel 41-12. Midlothian Heritage hoped to pick themselves up in the final game in Pool A against Cypress Wildcats. Unfortunately, the team couldn't find any traction. The offensive or defensive performance from the group was very little. The Wildcats, on the other hand, got into rhythm early and scored often. The Wildcats put up big numbers offensively and held Midlothian Heritage scoreless in the game. The Wildcats come out on top to capture the Pool A 1 seed with a 47-0 victory. Midlothian Heritage captures the 2 seed, and Roulette Fuel gets the 3 seed. Meanwhile, in Pool B, Lovejoy opened their tournament run with a 14-point victory over Katy Elite. Lovejoy moves on with a 26-12 win. The San Antonio Synergy 2021 squad came out strong as well, beating the Cougar Elite Black squad 48-12. Their head coach said the team showed a great combined effort in the win.
We ran some really crisp routes. Our receivers made good catches with their hands. Defense played real good. We're gelling at the right time and playing just real good team ball.
The Synergy and Lovejoy would meet in the next game in what was a well-played game by both squads. The Synergy looked to make a run, but Lovejoy got away with a slim 4-point win. Lovejoy 25, San Antonio Synergy 21. Katy Elite and Cougar Elite were both looking to bounce back in their second game of pool play. Both teams fought till the end, but it was Cougar Elite that would come out on top by 3 points. Final score here, 19-16. The San Antonio Synergy came into the next game fired up after only losing narrowly to Lovejoy. Katy Elite, on the other hand, came into the game already on a 2-game skid. The Synergy kept true to their name and worked well together to defeat Katy Elite by a wide margin, 42-14. So it'll be Lovejoy heading into day 2 as the 1 seed in Pool B. San Antonio Synergy close behind as the 2 seed, with the Cougar Elite taking the 3 as Katy Elite becomes the 4 seed. Pool C was on absolute fire today as the first game in Pool C combined for a whopping 81 points. It was the Highland Park Scots that would win a shootout over the LTMS Nighthawks with a final score of 49-32. Highland Park's coach said the team stuck to the game plan and will continue to do so throughout the tournament.
I don't think you change anything once you get here. You dance with the girl that brung you. There's nothing you can change at this point that's going to do anything.
Highland Park managed to score even more points in their second game as they faced off with the Grapevine Storm. The Scots managed 3 more points than they did in their first game as their defense was much improved as well. They win this one 52-7. The Grapevine Storm then faced off with the Nighthawks but did not fare much better. The Nighthawks take this game 21-6. So it'll be the Scots taking the 1 seed into Sunday. Your Nighthawks will be the 2 seed, and they hand the Grapevine Storm the 3 seed. Meanwhile, in Pool D, the Cypress Flight beat the Round Rock Unity by a sizable gap. Cypress took the game 41-12 and turned around to face the Hebron Hawks. The Hawks put up a better fight, but it still wasn't enough to take down the Cypress Flight. The Hawks dropped this one 40-21 to Cypress. So it'll be Cypress Flight coming out of Pool D with the 1 seed, followed by Round Rock as the 2, and the Hawks will follow as the 3 seed. Pool E got underway as the Cypress Edge took on the Stephenville Jackets, as the Edge didn't seem to have their edge in this one, dropping the first round matchup 41-20. They wouldn't find it in their next matchup either as the Cypress Edge dropped game 2 of pool play, this time to Stony Point Elite 46-21. The Stephenville Jackets and the Stony Point Elite then faced off. It was the Stony Point Elite pulling away with a 27-20 victory. So that makes Stony Point Elite the 1 seed as they hand Stephenville Jackets the 2 spot, and Cypress Edge rounds out the pool with the 3 seed. And in Pool F, you had Wildcats, Mustangs, and Dragons. Oh my. Pool F definitely featured three fearless teams looking to get to bracket play on Sunday, and it was the Cy Ranch Mustangs downing Southlake 33-12 in their first game. The Dragons would then bounce back, and they looked to reset against Westridge directly after the loss. Unfortunately, they would only be able to put up the same amount of points as their first pool game. Westridge would double that score to win 24-12. The Wildcats then moved on to scratch the Mustangs in the final pool game, final score of 32-19. The Westridge Wildcats will take the 1 seed, the Mustangs will be your 2, and the Dragons round out the pool as the 3 seed. In Pool G, where the Katy NLA Red Raiders were hot enough to overcome the Midlothian Ice 36-24, their hot streak then continued as they promptly played Lake Travis and took the victory 42-19. Midlothian then rebounded in the final game as they were able to freeze Lake Travis to take the W by 13 points with a win 33-20. Katy will be your 1 seed into bracket play on Sunday. Midlothian will follow as the 2 seed, and Lake Travis is your 3 seed. And finally, in Pool H, this may have been the last pool, but they definitely scored the most points. It was Mesquite outscoring Round Rock 36-22 in their first pool play game. The Gamecocks took their victory and immediately faced the H.F. Stevens Showtime, and Showtime is right. H.F. Stevens put a division-leading 62 points on the board and held the Mesquite Gamecocks to a measly 6 points in an easy victory. So it'll be H.F. Stevens demolishing the pool to easily get the 1 seed. The Mesquite Gamecocks take the 2 seed, and the Round Rock Hornets will get the 3 seed. That does it for this divisional recap from College Station, Texas for Primetime Sports. I'm Michael Knight, live from the Tournament of Champions. 16 teams entered bracket play Sunday at the 2016 Primetime Sports Tournament of Champions in College Station, Texas, but only 1 team would be crowned the champion of the 8th grade division. The Highland Park Scots got to the quarterfinals in a close win over the Stephenville Jackets 34-27. They would face off with the Westridge Wildcats after that team took care of Round Rock in the first round 24-16. The Highland Park Scots held the Wildcats to only 12 points in the game while managing to put up an impressive 42. Highland Park easily advances to the semifinal round. Lovejoy easily defeated the Mesquite GCO Gamecocks in their first game 55-12 and met the Katy Red Raiders in the quarterfinals. The Red Raiders were coming off a 40-24 win over Midlothian Heritage. Lovejoy would overcome the Red Raiders by the same score. Lovejoy advances to the semifinals to take on Highland Park. On the other side of the bracket, it was the Cypress Wildcats getting off to a hot start against the Midlothian Ice, winning their first round matchup by 40 points by a score of 47-7. The San Antonio Synergy played an impressive game against the H.F. Stevens Showtime. Despite H.F. Stevens' impressive scoring numbers leading the division the day before with 62 and 56-point performances, they were held to only 13 points against the Synergy as the San Antonio Synergy win this one 27-13. The Cypress Wildcats would continue their strong production, though. The Synergy played well but could not stop the powerful Wildcat offense. Cypress escapes the semifinals with a narrow 30-26 win. The Cypress Flight and the Stony Point Elite would face off for the final spot in the semifinals. The Cypress Flight easily handled the Cy Ranch Mustangs in the first round 26-7, while Stony Point Elite won a shootout over LTMS Nighthawks 35-28. The Cypress Flight proved too much for Stony Point Elite, winning the match 33-14, and that would put the Cypress Flight against the Cypress Wildcats for a spot in the championship game. Here, the Cypress Wildcats rebounded from their close game against the Synergy. The Cypress Flight could not get enough going on offense to challenge the Wildcats. The Cypress Wildcats would pull away to a comfortable 34-19 victory, securing their spot in Sunday afternoon's championship game. The Wildcats would await the winner between Highland Park and Lovejoy, and the Scots and Lovejoy squared off in what was most likely the most memorable game of the tournament. The teams combined for a total of 60 points in this battle, and Lovejoy led the Scots by a score late in the second half. but the Scots would tie the game with less than 2 minutes remaining to try to send the game into overtime, but Lovejoy marched right down the field and scored with less than 30 seconds left to take the game 33-27. Lovejoy and the Cypress Wildcats are the finalists in Sunday's bracket play. You can catch the championship video right here on Primetime Sports. For the Tournament of Champions, I'm Michael Knight.
Well, it was a tough battle. Obviously, we've been out here all day. We played 3 games yesterday in the heat, and the boys dug really deep. They kept running their routes hard and just playing a great game. And once again, this is a team we played a number of times in the league, and so it's a tough rivalry.
You can look at me. What do you make any changes going into the championship game?
No, we stuck to our game plan. Our boys know the system. They play a great game, and they do a great job. And right now, I'd like to bring one of our boys in, my quarterback, and let him talk. Go ahead.
What kind of rhythm did you find in the game?
Well, I was just relying on my receivers to run good routes, and I was sending them out with their breaks, and it worked pretty well. Well, we need to focus on running our routes hard the whole time, even if we're not the primary receiver, and our other routes will be able to get open.
Yeah, it's been a great experience. Very professional. Everything's been run on time. The referees have been outstanding. The games have been called very fair, consistent, and just very organized, and so we'll definitely be back.
Lovejoy and the Cypress Wildcats met for the 8th grade division championship on Sunday in College Station, Texas. Both teams came into the game undefeated at 6-0 and hungry for the Tournament of Champions title. The Wildcats took an early lead, but Lovejoy quickly scored to keep the game even. The Wildcats came out in the second half with an early interception, but did not generate any points, giving the ball right back to Lovejoy. The Wildcats would quickly get another interception, but their struggles to convert turnovers into points continued. On the next possession, the Wildcats would try for another takeaway, but narrowly miss, allowing Lovejoy to go up by 2 possessions. As the game neared the end, the Wildcats became desperate for another turnover, while Lovejoy, up 28-12, was content to run the clock, waiting as long as they could before snapping the ball. Unfortunately for the Wildcats, Lovejoy would end their long possession with a score to put them up by 22 points. Attempting to score quickly, the Wildcats turned the ball over as the game came to a close. Lovejoy takes the 8th grade divisional championship 34-12. Head coach Chad Collins said he was proud of his team.
Nobody can ever take away that you're a state champion. No matter if it's sports or other things, there's not many state champions running around. And when you beat a lot of people and you show what hard work can happen, good things happen, and we're just really proud of them.
This is Michael Nye reporting from the Tournament of Champions in College Station, Texas for Primetime Sports.